AfterBuzz TV, starting place to the likes of WWE female superstars Kathy Kelly, Sonya Deville, and Zelina Vega proudly presents Women's Wrestling Weekly, the world's first podcast and YouTube series dedicated exclusively to women's wrestling, featuring all the latest news as well as interviews with top superstars in the industry. And now, AfterBuzz TV's own gorgeous lady of wrestling, TK Trinidad.
Bonjour, you're watching Women's Wrestling Weekly, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and I am not alone, thankfully. I am so happy to have her with me, my fellow co-host. She is the farmer's daughter. She hails from the Valley, LA Valley, that is. Please welcome Emily Mae.
Hi, everyone.
There we go. Hi, Emily. How are you doing?
Zoom, we got to.
Hey, this is a new life right now.
A new life. We're good. We're good. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. So as we do with all shows, because you're really not here to see us. You're here to see the guests, the wrestlers, and this one is no exception. She's absolutely amazing. She often plays an alien. We'll get into all of that. She's one of AEW superstars. Please welcome Kris Statlander.
Hi, that's me.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hey.
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you all?
Good. So we talked to her. We kind of looking at your background. You told us you're in Nashville. Is there any reason you're in Nashville?
Well, this is where they are doing the Impact tapings.
Okay.
My boyfriend, this probably shouldn't be said, but he plays suicide. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, we won't dive anymore. We'll leave it right there. We'll leave it right there. So kind of tell us about, you talked about, or we've seen that you were a stunt double. Kind of tell us, have you used your stunt double experience in wrestling? And like, how did you get into wrestling?
okay. So getting into wrestling, I got into it because I started doing the stunt stuff, and I went to college for a year to be an athletic trainer, and there I met a friend who was a wrestler. And I did not watch wrestling growing up at all. I had like I knew what it was, but I never really paid any interest to it, because I was a gymnast my whole life, so I was like too busy to even like care about anything else at the time. But then. Yeah, I met a friend who was a wrestler, and when I told him, hey, I'm not going to be coming to school anymore because I'm going to go train to be a stunt double, he's like, oh, well, we come do shows to the area where you live, so why don't we see if we can incorporate you somehow? So I actually was like a valet for one company that's not a very big company at all. There's a small little promotion. I did that for like 2 years before I decided to start actually like looking into wrestling and figuring out what I was actually doing. So I'd say the most crossover thing that has happened with like stunts and wrestling though is kind of just my really stupid mentality of don't think, just do, and then like hope for the best. That's like the only crossover thing.
That can get a little dangerous in wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen me, but I do stupid things a lot. So,
but they look good though.
They look awesome. Yeah,
they definitely stand out. So when you first started, your training as a wrestler, was there a moment where certain things came to you a little bit easier because of your gymnast background and your athletic background? And then was there certain things that were just like, holy shit, this is a little harder. I'm gonna need some time to do this.
So yeah, there were certain things like when you first start, you like learn how to like roll properly and bumps and stuff like that. And like getting your body to like adjust to these things wasn't so difficult because I'm used to throwing myself around all the time. Mm-hmm. I think some things that were a little bit harder to understand definitely has to do with like the psychology aspects of it. But I never tried to pigeonhole myself where I was like, oh, I can't do that, so I'm not going to try it. So I always like to try things before I'm like, no, maybe this just isn't for me. Which I think being open to trying so many different things like power moves, aerial moves, like high flying stuff, technical stuff, like I think it's helped given me a little bit more of a diverse type of style that I have, I guess, because I don't like to be a specific way. I like to have a bunch of different things that I can do to keep things interesting and like to put on different types of matches that people may not expect me to have, besides like being a somewhat comical type of being in the ring. So
what is your favorite aspect of wrestling? I know there's like the physical aspect, there's crafting the story, kind of the psychology behind the match, and kind of crafting that arc. What is your favorite part of that, of kind of being in the ring?
I definitely say the physical part is one of the reasons why I got into it, because obviously like doing gymnastics and stunts and just being dumb is just, it's so fun. But I think as that might be like the most fun part of it, I think the most rewarding and like you feel like you really have a grasp on what you're doing is sometimes when you call a match and then you go out there and it's even more fun and even better than what you expected it to be. I usually tend to find that whenever I have some sort of like gimmick match, like a no DQ, or I've done unsanctioned or cage matches. So any of like those like special type of attraction matches, like you can get that same thing with regular matches, but there's so many more things that you can incorporate with those weapons and like little things that you add into there. And it's just such like it's almost, I'm really a big fan of puzzles, and it feels like you're kind of putting together a puzzle. So
yeah, definitely.
It's a very fun thing to kind of be able to figure it out and to go out there and perform it and to make people feel as emotional as you do about it.
Yeah. Is there someone that you look to as you were kind of learning about the industry, that you look to kind of as an inspiration as you're trying to craft who you are in the wrestling industry and kind of the matches and moves that you like?
I wish there was, but it's a lot of my inspiration has come from just the people that have trained me, the people that have supported me. Any sort of move ideas that I have sort of been just like me going on YouTube and looking at like, oh, AJ Styles top 100 moves and stuff like that. And it's just like the dumbest things, but I try to look for things that aren't very common. I try to see if there's a way that I can make my own little twist to it. And yeah, I wish there was like a specific person that I had inspiration of, but like I said, like I didn't watch wrestling growing up, so it's hard for me to have these emotional connections to people that are sort of like my peers almost now. Like other people, it's I mean, I really do wish that I could have that muse or something like that, but I just get inspired when I see people having fun, when I can help people, when people can help me, and then we can accomplish something together. That's what always has helped me the most. So it's a lot more like people that have helped me in my journey specifically.
So tell us a little bit about your character, the alien gimmick. How did you come about that?
All right. So I'm like a really, really big fan of just science in general, and like just the idea of space and all aspects of science. And pretty much like I used to take like summer classes for marine biology when I was a kid, and like my parents like at home little science kits. So it's not so much like the science fiction and stuff. Like there's Star Trek playing on this TV, and this is the first time I've ever actually seen it, and I'm not even caring to watch it right now. So it's not like, people probably think I'm like a big Star Trek or Star Wars fan, but this is literally the first time I've ever seen this movie play, and I'm not watching it. And I'm sometimes, if you ask a lot of people that I've worked with and that have gotten to know me very well on a personal level, I'm a very, very strange, odd person. So like, it's just like I have so much common sense and no common sense at the same time. Like book smart in like a few things, but like the biggest idiot at the same time ever. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm a very just odd person, and I always sort of felt like when you think of aliens, it's like you think of them as something that you don't want to believe exists, or like it's too strange, so you don't think about it and you don't care to get to learn more about it. But then when you get to know some more about it and you start to get a little interest, you're like, oh, this is actually really cool. And I feel like that's kind of how people used to interpret me a lot if they would ever meet me, like in school.
Mhm.
It'd always be like, no one ever wants to get to know you until they start to get to know you. So that's kind of like, it's my weird way of finding a way to express myself without like to like really embrace like that inner just be who you are, no matter how strange it is kind of how the whole alien thing came up, because we all feel little outcasts sometimes.
Oh yeah, I can
Totally.
definitely dig it.
Yeah.
Did you see the news where they found like there's an possible alternate universe? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was like this week.
I did see that, and
Are you gonna?
I hope there is. I'm a big fan. I believe.
And we have SpaceX. We have the launch, soon. That
Yes.
yeah.
There's so many space things. Like, I don't know why we're not having a party about it, honestly, because we should.
I mean, it's amazing. There's so much work that goes into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you got signed to AEW. What was that feeling like? Because you were also featured on WWE. So and from previous interviews that I've seen, WWE was also interested. So what was that feeling like? Having, because this position that you're in, as far as having WWE and AEW, there's some wrestlers who never get to that. So what was that feeling like?
It was a lot of pressure. It was very stressful, and I feel like things happened very fast for me. And at that point, I was like 3 years in wrestling, like 3 years since I debuted. So I felt like I wasn't ready to be taking these steps when I know people wait like 10 years to even get an opportunity. So I felt like I was almost like, it was almost like being like spoon fed to me. And I like to feel like I work hard for my things. And I'm not saying I didn't work hard in those 3 years. But I felt very rushed for me, and I was very scared and I was very nervous. Luckily AEW has been an amazing place to be a part of, and it's been a blessing, and I feel like at home there, and it's very, very welcoming and embracing, and it's a very big family environment. But it was very stressful for me, and I think I just mostly put a lot of pressure on myself, because I just felt like I wasn't sure if I was ready, no matter how many people told me that I was. Mm-hmm. So it was a very scary situation. And at the time, both my trainers were working for WWE, so it felt weird to have the brand new opposing company kind of come out there and contact me about wanting to use me, when stuff with WWE wanting to happen too. But I didn't hear anything from WWE for a while, and then AEW brought me in for the dark match, and then it was kind of like the second I got there, it's kind of like, oh yeah, we pretty much want to hire you. And then I was like, but both of my trainers gave me, like, I kind of felt like I needed that blessing from my trainers, so I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to that's a not your company type thing. But now neither of them work there, so unfortunately. But they've both been very supportive. Everyone at Creative Pro has been extremely supportive of me. So everyone made sure that I felt comfortable and felt like reassured me that I did end up making the right decision. So
then when you got there, as far as advice, did anybody pull you aside and kind of taught you the ropes, or is there somebody that's kind of dropping little tidbits here and there
about like TV stuff, like wrestling? Well, luckily, like I said, like Brian Myers, he's been wrestling on TV for a while. So we at Creative Pro they teach us how to be prepared for TV wrestling. So I kind of understand like a lot of aspects that people that have never been on TV have. I kind of have that as like a little bit of an edge, because they train us to know how it works.
Okay.
How to understand like obviously the independent wrestling too, but they make sure that you're aware of like certain things that they're going to look for when you are a TV wrestler. But we do have like well, we used to, before the whole pandemic stuff happened, we used to do like weekly trainings with Dustin Rhodes before the shows. So we are actively like learning and getting our skills worked up or brushed up on, and trying. And then we have our agents there too. So I wouldn't say like there's people like being like, hey, this is what you got to know to do this. It's more just everyone wants to see everyone succeed. So it's very like in the open, like we're trying our best to make our product as best as it can be. So it's very like gung-ho, we got this big team effort.
Yeah, it's been amazing watching like the evolution of AEW and see how it's grown. With kind of the situation going on right now, how do you feel about kind of these empty arena matches and kind of this wrestling content still happening for AEW? And,
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I honestly, like, as much as I love having fans there, we've luckily have had the benefit of having the other wrestlers and like people in production in the crowd and like making noise. So it hasn't been as terrible on us to like just wrestle in silence. I mean, even for like the dark matches are no crowd at all, which is, you get that feel of it too. But I feel like you kind of just like focus on making sure you're wrestling for the people at home. Excuse me. At least for me, I always like to, like, as much as it is no one there and it's just cameras there and it's you and the other person in the ring and there's no one around and you feel alone, but you know in your head that you're not, and you know that you're still doing this for people and that people are still relying on you to put your best foot forward and to do the best that you can. And it is very reassuring to know that there are fans out there watching from home religiously and still making it a part of their routine to look to us to entertain them. And that kind of gives you the spirit to keep going. And I'm extremely grateful that I still have a place to be working at, because I know it's been such a tough time. So I'm trying to do my best to make up for everything that other people can't do at this moment.
It's an incredible gift to be able to give this type of entertainment to people that are looking for some type of fun and comfort. Thinking of like all of your opponents that you've had so far in AEW, and you've had kind of some incredible matches. What has been kind of, do you have a favorite that you just have really enjoyed kind of calling and creating?
I don't know if I've had a favorite yet. I've had stuff that I've enjoyed doing, and I love working with all of the women at AEW for sure. I don't know if I've had a specific thing that's been like, oh, this is, I'm so 100% like in love with what happened here. But that's just because nothing in wrestling is perfect, and you always strive to get better. And I'm not saying that I won't ever have that feeling. I just know I'm not gonna. I'm a big person where I like to set my hopes really, really high, and we're all working together in progress to get to these expectations. And I know we get a lot of hate on online, us women at AEW, which is terrible because they don't know how much hard work that we're putting in, and they don't know how much it hurts us that people think that we don't have it in us. And trust me, I have so many days where I'm just like in tears because I'm trying so hard and no one ever is satisfied for some reason. Meanwhile, we're out there risking our lives and whatnot, because I think we get us women of AEW, we tend to get very worked up about wanting to prove ourselves because we feel like a lot of fans don't believe in us. But in that part, it brings us a lot closer together because it makes us want to work harder. And I know we're all striving for perfection, and I know we're all reaching for that moment where we're like, this is the best thing ever. Like no one's gonna want to top this. Like we're getting there. And I think we're all still in that phase of like, we have to prove ourselves still. So we're very hard on ourselves a lot of the time. I'm rambling a lot. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Like, I mean, this is, you know, a lot of stuff that you're saying is also life-wise, you know, we work hard and, you know, we don't get the accolades, and then you're kind of taking it to heart. But, you know, I could speak for, you know, definitely the folks at AfterBuzz who cover AEW, that, you know, we're seeing the hard work. Now, speaking of hard work, though, you've had a couple opportunities as far as the women's championship. What do you think you need to do to seal the deal to get that championship in your hands?
I have no idea. As much of an honor as it would be to be the women's champion of AEW, I feel Shida is in a much better position at the moment, just like based on fan appreciation, talent wise. Like, she's been there consistently, and I'm not saying I'm not trying to be there consistently. There's just I usually live in New York, and that's been one of the spots that's been hit the hardest. So it's not been ideal to be there travel wise for work. But you know, I think Shida is probably one of the best choices at AEW right now to be the women's champ. And I am, if I get that opportunity to have that happen, I'd be so extremely grateful for it. But if it doesn't, I'm more than happy to be a part of the roster and to be part of the part of the like, to be, if I'm able to help people get to a stage where they feel more comfortable to be in that position, I'm totally fine with that too. I mostly want to help everyone feel good, and I want to put on good matches, and I want to train people. So I don't know what I have to do. I just got to wait till it's my time. And if it's not my time ever, that's totally okay with me. But like I said, I just want to, I'm mostly concerned with just wrestling.
Okay. I just came up with a storyline.
Yes.
TK's really good at doing this.
I'm really good at doing this.
She's really
okay. So here we go. So you know the alternate universe, right? That's happening. So what we do is, in the alternate universe, you get the belt, and then yourself in the alternate universe comes into this universe.
Okay.
To let everybody know that you have the belt.
I have had the belt the whole time.
Yes.
And then in the alternate universe.
Yes. You can have that one. That's free. Like, I won't even.
TK's gonna need some royalties on that one.
Just saying, you have that one for free. Now, as far as wrestlers, indies, other promotions, etc., is there anybody that you want to have a match with that you haven't had a match with yet?
Any wrestler that wants to have a match with me.
Oh,
for sure.
Okay.
I have no specific people. Actually, I do. I want to have a match with Brian Myers.
Okay.
I've had a match with my other trainer, Pat, but I've never had a match with Brian. Brian is my one person on my bucket list that I've yet to have a match with. So he's my one request. Everyone else, if they want to wrestle me, I'm more than open to it. I will wrestle anybody, anywhere. I just love to wrestle.
Yeah, that's like drop mic. Like,
that's amazing.
Bring it.
I know. I love it. You're like challenging everyone.
Yeah, come at me.
Yeah. Is there, because I know you're like really focusing on wrestling right now, and like once things kind of normalize a little bit, is there something maybe like outside of wrestling that you're like really excited about? Any fun projects coming up later in 2020?
Nope. I'm actually in real life, I am a massage therapist. So yeah, so once that opens up again, that'll be nice to have that, because that's like my little like almost escape from wrestling type thing. So I have this little thing that I say where I like to call myself a beater and a treater, because that's what I do. But yeah, so I'm excited for massage to open up again and to just continue learning with that. Like I said, like I'm very into science and the medical business and all that stuff. So that just kind of proves that I'm not just a phony. I do actually like science.
I just came up with another storyline for you.
Oh my God. A massage therapist line?
Yes.
Or storyline?
It's more of an intro, so it's not a full storyline. So you can like take this and then just do whatever you want with it. But here's the thing, you have Brandy, right? So she's going in for a massage. So she's thinking she's getting a massage, and you're a licensed massage therapist. But you want like certain matches. So, you start off doing the regular massage and she's fine. She's like, oh, this is amazing. But then slowly you're putting her in like submission holds until she says you get what you want. So like, if you want to match with this person, you like hold her until she agrees to it or signs in the dotted line.
See, I understand the idea, except it comes off very fetishy.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's rework that. Let's rework that one.
TK, gotta get a new draft.
Yeah, I'll draft another one for you and send it to you. Let's scrap that one.
Random people in submissions while I'm massaging them, but that's why I try and keep my massage stuff separate from wrestling, because it looks like that. So.
Yeah, don't put that on your business cards.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll rework that one.
Yeah, TK's very enthusiastic about getting all these storylines out there. She's pitched some really good.
And some of them have actually come true too. So I'm just.
I'll the alternate universe one.
Yeah, I like that one.
That would be cool. And then you need to like have a faction of people, of aliens and people that follow you, and it could be a huge.
It's just gonna be me, like the whole Into the Spider-Verse thing, where it's just like 7 different versions of Spider-Man, but it's all me.
Yes. I can't wait to see it.
This is amazing. I love it. We're writing it here.
So we're going to get into anything else, Em?
No, we're good.
So we're going to get into rapid hot tags. So rapid hot tags means I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're going to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
I'm very nervous.
Oh, it's fine. It's a safe environment. So first question, always early or always late?
Half.
Okay. What is the one thing you love about yourself?
My tattoos.
Okay. Dream
can't
dinner
them right now, but they're there.
Dream dinner guest.
My boyfriend.
Oh, that's sweet.
Last show you binge watched?
I don't know. I don't binge watch shows.
Okay.
Let me think.
What is
one that you watched recently that you are like really love?
What's the one with the little kids? Stranger Things. Have you seen that?
No.
You should watch it.
Oh, you would love that.
They have the alternate universe in that one.
They do.
I feel like me and my boyfriend watched something really weird recently. Oh, we watched this thing called Strange Planet.
Oh, okay. Strange Planet.
On Earth and stuff. We watched that.
All right, we'll take that. If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Orange.
And if you can listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
If I made my personal playlist on Spotify an album, can it be that?
Sure.
That one.
And last meal, what would it be?
Probably something to do with eggs and a veggie burger.
Okay.
No, ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Wait, eggs, a veggie burger, and ice cream.
Yes.
Okay.
Separately though, right?
Well, I mean, it's last meal. You can do whatever you want.
That's true.
I put the eggs on the veggie burger, and then have ice cream for dessert.
Boom! There it is.
Sounds
See,
good.
There it is. Rapid hot tags, easy peasy. Mostly easy. So tell people where they can find you if they're not following you right now.
All right. So my Twitter and my Instagram are both at Call Me Kris Stat. It's the same exact thing. My Instagram is verified. My Twitter is not. Working on getting that happening because I know I've been having a lot of fake accounts of me pop up on Instagram, and there's only one account. It's at Call Me Kris Stat. I don't have any new ones. I'm not making any new ones. And if you get a message from a different account saying it's me, it's not, because it's most likely never going to happen. not to be mean, but like it's most likely never me reaching out first. Just saying.
Yeah.
That CALLMEKRISSTAT.
Boom.
Awesome.
There it is. So we definitely look forward to see you on more storylines for AEW. Thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful time in Nashville.
Thank you.
And Em, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on all social media platforms at Emily Mae Heller. We're covering Total Bellas at AfterBuzz on Friday nights at 7. And, here weekly for Women's Wrestling Weekly. It's going to be in NXT tonight on Wednesdays at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's it. More wrestling content.
More wrestling content. Definitely check out our co-host
AEW,
as well.
yeah.
AEW as well coming on tonight too. But thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave those comments. We definitely read them eventually. Also, if you're listening to us any podcast, give us 5 stars or better, because that's just, that's how we became the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Thank you so much, Kris, for joining us. And again, if you guys don't know, my name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Till next week, guys. Ciao.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.